All right. 3, 2. Hello and welcome to another episode of Questlog. It's a weekly show about video games old and new. My name is Tyler Everett, and I'm joined by two of the finest humans that I know. One of them is Aaron Roberta Kring.
Wow.
How many times? Well, first and foremost, fuck you, Brian. I'm first.
I switched it up. I switched it up.
Get to the back of the bus there,
Frank.
homeboy, because it's over
That
for you.
is
I'm
racist. We are not even 30 seconds in.
Yeah, you're kind of right. Okay, sorry.
You fucked up, Tyler.
Yep, this is what happens. Lesson learned. Never again. Brian
Hey.
Bartholomew Maxwell is also here.
Hey, man.
How's it going? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I got a beverage.
Yeah, is that you got a Bloody Mary
Saturday.
there? Got a little Bloody
Mhm.
Mary
A
action?
little bit.
Shit,
A
yeah.
little bit.
It is Saturday. It is episode 77. It is the greatest podcast in the southeastern Michigan thumb area. And yeah, man, look at that. May 19th for a little bit longer.
We would get the Western Thumb area as well.
We got the
Do we think we get the whole thumb? I think we'd get the whole thumb.
talk to our buddy Vito. He's up in Traverse City. We could do some networking right now. Really try to lock down all of the
all of Michigan.
all of the
Just
lower
lock it down.
peninsula.
He's hanging out with some good folks over there. So
Oh yeah,
I'm
shout
sure
out
he'd be excited.
shout
about
out to
this.
Veets McGeets. We're with you in spirit. We'd send an Uber if we could afford it. Hey, so it's been another week in 2018, and there's actually quite a bit of news this week. We played some games. Brian played some new ones. All kinds of good stuff happening. Let's you know what? Let's dive right into it. Let's get into what we're playing, shall we? Oh man, Brian, I've been
Yeah.
dying to hear how Persona 4 is holding in there for you, because you were pretty excited about that last week.
Yeah, I'm still hanging with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, get maybe an hour or two in the evenings,
Okay. All right.
making some progress. I don't think I'm quite up to where I was when I dropped off it a few years back.
Okay.
I'm getting there. Like I finished my first full dungeon, got another party member, got a full party of 4. The cast is a lot more likable, I think. Than in Persona 5. I think 3 and 4 just have a more likable, more charismatic cast than 5.
So now that you finished 5, are you just gonna play them all in reverse order? Is that the aim
No.
here?
No, I don't think I can keep going. Like 3 was really different from the ones that came before, is my understanding. Like 3 is the
Gotcha.
one where they made it like, hey, there's this whole like social sim and this whole school thing. And
Hmm.
I think the others were more just like straight dungeon crawling.
I meant to ask last week. Oh, something died.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay.
Nope.
The thing's just
Something died.
loading. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. No way that would happen, right? I meant to ask last week. Like, so the combat, I get that it looks like it's turn based.
Mhm.
How are you like? Are the dudes fighting with like guns and stuff? Do you have powers? Like, is it swords and magic? What's the
It's
kind of yes?
yes. Like your main character has a sword or a sword-like weapon. I had an imitation katana.
Okay.
I think you get
Imitation.
like I think you get progressively better weapons.
Is it
but
like is it like with imitation crab meat where like it's
yes.
a katana made from like
It's a one-to-one from crab
lesser
meat, yes.
blades? Like
It's
it's
a-
a katana made from steak knives or something. Is that what we're
I
talking about?
picture it as one that's like, this is just for display. This is not for actual use, but you could still, you could still cut a bitch with it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those. But like, this is a bunch of high school kids who are like, oh shit, we've got to fight. I've got some wrenches in my garage.
Okay.
Like
All right.
Chie is just kicking people. So, she
Yeah.
got kicks.
You got kicks.
Yeah,
You got them kicks. Yeah, I mean those imitation katanas are more dangerous than the real ones. If you look on YouTube of like
You
people,
could, yeah, you
you
could
look
definitely cut someone. Like, I imagine it's still sharp. Like, it might not hold up to a lot of wear and tear, but
well,
It's
it'll
more
do some
dangerous to
damage.
yourself
right,
and
yeah.
the
For
owner
sure.
of
Yeah.
it because it will break and it will fly off and like stick you in the shoulder or something.
If you want an entertaining afternoon, look up
For
people using like
sure.
wall hanger swords the wrong
To
way
do
on
dumb shit.
YouTube. Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah, like I've got a flail, like I've got an imitation flail that's not
Okay.
for combat, but I could still brain someone with it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, you can do anything once.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool.
So Persona 4 is good.
I'm glad to hear it.
I'm struck by how very because I didn't see this last week, but I'm struck by how very different uh it looks from Persona 5. Like
Yeah.
drastically changed.
It's a PlayStation 2 title, so
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and the whole like art style of Persona 5 was very much its own thing.
Okay.
That,
So
like bombastic,
Persona
like spy themed.
so
Yeah.
Persona 5 is more of the oddity here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a lot closer to 3 than it is to 5.
Good stuff, man. What else you been playing?
I done picked up a game called Forgotton Anne.
Man,
Yep. It looks like a like Studio Ghibli game. Like, it looks like a cartoon. It's got a real anime style again. I only played maybe an hour of it today, but what I played was really good. The story of this world is like, you're a girl who lives in an alternate, I don't know, like an alternate reality where like lost things end up, like lost things get banished here, like socks and scarves and tables and, like things that people have like lost or forgotten
huh?
end up here, and they've all got their own, like personality, like they're living things. And she's an enforcer in this world. Yeah,
Pretty
like
neat.
I'm still learning what the story is and what the deal is.
So the forgotten things are living beings in this world?
Yes.
So like you're just hanging out with everybody's mismatched extra sock that they never found.
Pretty much. Yep. So like, to start
Why
the
would the
game off
developers
with,
make this, Brian? Why would they make a game?
I don't know. It's a mystery.
that right there should be a 2020 about that. I need to figure out why this came to be.
Yeah, so far the story is pretty entertaining. Like, you wake up and there's no power and there's some sort of crisis. Like, rebels are attacking. I'm not sure entirely what that means yet, but
Gotcha.
like, you figure out how to get the power back on. There's some easy puzzles to solve, a little bit of platforming. I don't think there's any combat in the game. I don't think it's that kind of thing.
Hmm.
But you're making some actual like story choices that seem to be, like, I've had a couple of things pop up on the screen where it's like, hey, this changed, the way things happen in the story.
Kind of that almost the
Almost
oh
like Life
shit
is Strange or
Telltale or whatever. Like,
yeah,
oh, Steven's gonna remember that, or whatever the
yeah,
little thing
like
that comes
this
up to let
like
you know.
rogue scarf showed up. Then I'm like, you don't have the proper, like ID to be here. You shouldn't be here. And he's like, no, it's good. Like, there's a crisis. Like, I forgot my badge. And then your girl's like I know the guard out at the guardhouse. She wouldn't let you in without that. And he's like, well, she's my friend. Come on. It's like, okay. It's like, I can kill him or
Throw that
believe him.
scarf
And
in the
it's
fucking
like,
furnace. Call it good. Just nope. Sorry, burn that thing.
yeah, they've got this like magical essence, and you can like drain that out of them and kill him.
Oh yeah, suck that right
So
out
I was
of
just like, nope, you're dead,
that.
scarf.
That scarf's up to no bueno for sure. That's a
And
bad
then later I
hombre
found
right
that
there.
was the right choice. But
Yeah.
there's been a couple of things where it's just like, who do I believe? Shit, I'm not sure who to believe.
Santa Claus in the mirror, I would start with him. He seems pretty trustworthy.
He seems to be the only other human here. He's kind of in charge of everything, but there's sort of a, I don't know, like a dystopian vibe to it. Like the things are like, oh, like, I can go home if he lets me go home. I just have to, do some jobs for him
Mm,
and make him happy. And if he likes me enough, he'll send me back home. And if he doesn't like me, then I'm trapped here forever. And like, one of the guards at the guardhouse, like, fucked up and let that scarf get through. And then, he's like, maybe it's time to get rid of her. And I'm like, oh, well, it's okay. She's doing her job. Just, simmer down, buddy. And there
So
seems to be some dark shit going on.
the guard at the guardhouse, is that like a lamp or something, or is it like is
I
everybody
can't
else
remember exactly what it
things?
is, but yes, like the only people I've seen so far are, your girl and Santa Claus in the mirror. There's the scarf.
That's awesome. I kind of really dig that.
But
Like,
like it feels like a cartoon, like it feels like an
yeah,
animated movie, and
yeah,
it's really well done and really interesting so far.
that's cool.
It looks like one of those Disney movies. Well, not Disney, but whoever would have been
Right.
doing animated movies that wasn't Disney from like the late 90s.
Yep.
I
Cool.
dig it. It actually reminds me of a lot of, for some reason, I'm thinking of the movie Anastasia.
Yes.
That's like the
it's a good
visual
pull.
styling I'm getting. Yeah.
But yeah, like the girl I'm playing, like she's a fucking cop. Like I was on a train and I'm going into these cabins and being like, I need to see your ID. What are you doing here? What's your business?
Yeah.
Brian just feels like a badass asking people for their ID.
Feel a little dirty. I
Yeah,
want
I
to be a
mean,
cop.
hey, somebody's got to keep these, coats and shoes
Yeah, I'm gonna
and
fuck this
candlesticks in
scarf
line.
right up.
Yeah, suck his life out.
Yep.
There you go. There you go. That's cool, man.
So yeah, just came out. So I'm only an hour into it, but it's got a unique thing going on so far, and it's really well written. I'm digging it so far.
You picked this up on Steam or?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
You said it just came out?
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
Sure enough.
What about Okay, I need to confirm if this is the case or not. So
Yeah.
I
What do
hopped
you
down
got?
on I hopped down on my computer the other day, and I was the Sea of Thieves servers were down, and I was like looking through my Steam library, kind of trying to see what's going on, and I saw for like 2 seconds, it came up said Brian Maxwell's playing Swords of Ditto. I was like, oh, Brian's using his library. I got to play something of mine. So I started scrolling through what I had. By the time I made it to Stardew Valley, it said Brian's library has become available again. Can you confirm or deny that is how fast you stopped playing that game?
I gave it maybe an hour and a
Okay.
half. Like there were some patches that came out that was like, oh, some of the dungeons are unsolvable. Some of the dungeons are impossible, and we've fixed that. So that was a big part of my problem. So I'm like, okay, I'll give it another swing because I really do want to like this game. There's a lot here I really like.
Yeah.
And the dungeons are still just shitty. They're like randomized,
Okay.
procedurally generated dungeons.
Right.
They're just dull, not interesting. I don't know. I think I'm just done with it. Like it's a shame, but
If No Man's Sky is any indication of what procedurally generated looks like, I imagine these dungeons are just terrible.
well, that's not always bad, but like
Yeah, like
there was one where I went into a room where there was a bunch of traps and a bunch of puzzles and shit and a key. The door was right next to the key. So I walked up, grabbed the key, turned around and walked back out the door and didn't touch any of the other shit, no traps, just like, oh, look at all that stuff. That looks complicated. Thank you.
yeah.
Bye. It's just like that. That ain't good.
Yeah. Well, it reminds me of there's other games that do that. They kind of blend that stuff. Like Diablo 3, for example, when you're running through different dungeons and stuff, that's all procedurally generated too. It's all
Yeah, like that's
or
not inherently
randomized at
bad.
least. Like, yeah, there's like a tile set that informs that particular dungeon, and then the room order and stuff gets all randomized. But this seems like they just straight up, yeah, they let the computer just fuck a dungeon together, and then
Yeah, that's how it feels.
it doesn't always
Just
spit
like
out something usable. Yeah,
there's a core of a good game here. Like it's a shame.
yeah.
And the other thing is I don't feel like I'm making progress ever because I keep my levels, but all the enemies level with me. And every time I want to get into a new dungeon or something, like I have to, I don't know, like I had to grind. I was like, you've got to be level 8 to get into this dungeon. It's like, okay, I guess I'll go and walk around and fight stuff until I get level 8. I don't want to be doing that anymore.
That's a bummer. Yeah. That kind of gameplay works out better when you have friends or something too, when it's like you can just be bullshitting and killing stuff together and, like
Right.
it's not so much of a big deal, but like to just go
Well,
out
and
and
there's a time
smack a
limit in
random.
the game too. Like I don't want to be, spending time grinding when there's a hard time limit on the game. That makes me feel like I've got to rush everywhere and I can't take my time.
There's a lot of weird. It's almost like maybe take out one of these elements or features
Yeah.
and like zero in on the rest, and then maybe
Just it's
the whole thing
gorgeous and
works
the
better.
combat is really good. And
Yeah,
it's a shame.
bummer. Yeah, I didn't love the little bit of time that I put into it either, so I'm kind of with you there. It's kind of just a bummer.
Yeah, there's something there, but not
It's
enough.
like a cutesy '80s cartoon Legend of Zelda, but it's not. I don't know. I've never been one for. You talk about grinding. I've never been one for. Am I the only one around here who thinks that gameplay doesn't work ever in any instance, like at all?
I never love it. Like there are games where the combat's good and I don't mind it. Like I had to do a little bit of grinding in Persona 4. I'm like, oh, this boss is too strong. I've lost twice in a row. Okay, I'm just gonna go home and I'm gonna come back on the next evening and just fight some
Right.
monsters for half an hour, and then it was fine.
I guess
A little bit of that goes a long way though, and that was a way to get more time out of your games back in the 80s when
right.
When you didn't have the ability to put as much on a cartridge because cartridges were expensive.
right.
Well, and usually, I mean, now most games have some kind of alternate objective that you can be working towards when you do that kind of stuff. When it's like, oh,
Right.
if we're gonna level cap an area,
Here's some
then
side
there's
content over
either
here, and you'll
side
get some levels
quests
while you're at.
or there's like like objectives that unlock new abilities and stuff that are like organic and based on combat and that sort of thing instead of you know I don't know. It'll be like kill 300 dudes with bombs or something, and once you've done that,
Right. See,
like
this was I'm just walking from screen to screen, seeing if there's anything to kill, then killing it and waiting for the meter to fill up. That ain't fun.
Yeah, no, that is absolutely the opposite of a fun time.
bummer. Well, hey,
So it's an early leader for my most disappointing game of 2018 because I had pretty high hopes for this.
yeah, I know you were super stoked leading up to it. Hopefully, the
Hopefully
other thing,
Moonlighter is better.
yeah, I was just gonna say like Moonlighter is the other one that's been, it looks like it's trying to scratch this itch of a top-down Zelda-like, and
Why don't you just play Link to the Past again? I mean, that's really what you guys want. Just go play it.
once again, Aaron Kring's hot take is there can only be one good thing of a thing. Like that's just play. Just play a game you played 25 years ago.
That if you're trying to scratch the itch of I need a new version of A Link to the Past, just go play. You know what? Actually, no. Get a 3DS and play Link Between Worlds. There you go.
There you go,
There you
Brian.
go.
Let's go buy a 3DS and
That's
buy
my
a
bad.
Link Between
Vito's got a
Worlds.
3DS. Just go to Grand Rapids. It's fine.
Or Traverse City.
Or Traverse City.
Got it.
There you go.
Go west.
There you go.
Well, I done tried Stardew Valley multiplayer this week.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah, I got in on a
Oh,
Brian and
shit.
Cat game, and
Kinda.
I mean for a little bit, long
Now-
enough to go like. Now this never happens, so it lets you create your little farmer at the beginning. I did the thing that I don't ever do, and I hit the randomize button, and I did tweak it a little bit, but I spent like almost no time on it, and I didn't because I just wanted to get in there and try it, and ended
But
up
when
with
you hit
like
the randomize button, you looked at your guy and you went, "Oh, you look real stupid."
yeah. I was looking at him from the side, and I couldn't tell that like his haircut. He had like that really trendy haircut where everything is shaved from like here down, so he just had like this little bit of hair, and then like mutton chops, or like it was the beard, but like no goat right here, so like this was all shaved. It looked real bad.
Yeah, I was a little surprised. I'm just like, that's an interesting choice. That's an interesting direction you've
Yeah.
chosen.
Yeah,
I wonder what your backstory is.
yeah, it was a strange look. Anyway, yeah, I got in there and I kind of looked around. There's some neat things going on. Like you can hear everybody else's actions really loudly, no matter where you are in the game. It seems like, because like so I spawn in and I'm hearing just like someone's hacking down a tree, and it sounds like it's right near me. I'm like, whoa, where's this tree going down? And Kat was like another screen away, cutting down trees, and so I finally found her, and she's like, oh yeah, that's a thing. You can hear people from all over. Yeah, they've got their farm going, and I just kind of picked one of the little cottages or whatever they have, and kind of claimed that
Bang
one.
houses.
One of the bang houses, yeah. Episode episode 76. Go check it out.
Yeah.
You'll learn
Call
more
back.
and more. But yeah, it's neat. The only thing that kind of sucks is I really wish there was some kind of way to just have that thing hosted nonstop, so that people could do
Just have a server.
yeah, like have a server running it, and then which you probably could do, honestly, is just, if you had the money and time and inclination. But yeah, because it's like I would love to be able to just go in there and do some work and then see what you guys have done in the meantime and be able to keep checking in without having to all sit down and go, okay, we're gonna play our shared Stardew save right now together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still really cool that you can do that, but that would be one thing that I'd enjoy seeing, that feature.
Yeah, you had a little bit of a rough time getting back into it, and a little
Yeah.
bit of an adjustment period for you.
Yeah, I was like, I'm like, whoa, God, I don't remember what to do. I walked up and vandalized one of the signs like instantly. You can put
Those
these.
are new, so
I didn't know what to do with them, so I saw that Kat had like marked some of her crops with like a parsnip,
how dare
sign.
you, sir? That was me. That was my
Okay, Brian. Sorry. Yes.
field
Sorry.
that you tromped
Yeah.
through and then kicked the sign down.
I didn't kick it down.
With your faux hawk and your mutton chops.
I walked up to the sign and was just like, I wonder what this does. And I hit a button and it put like a picture of the scythe that I was holding. And I was just like, oh shit, I can tag their signs apparently. Throw up some graffiti and just really make this place look like home.
Yeah, I'm not sure how useful the signs are, but it seems like a nice little visual touch.
It's a good visual touch, and I think maybe it would help, like, especially in a shared game, maybe if you're not communicating real well, you can just say, like, okay, here's where I want the strawberries to be, so help me plant strawberries here. Don't plant just random bullshit, please.
Were you saying that? Were you critiquing the layout of the farm already?
No, but I did start laying down. I cut down a tree and I started laying down a little wooden path to my house to get to the thing. And Kat came around the corner and she's like, "Oh, it's so cute. How do you do that?" I was like, Brian's like, "Yeah, you can make all kinds of flooring and stuff. You can make that shit and put it down." So yeah, it was good. I don't think I would engage with any of like the townsfolk stuff much in a game, not in the shared game anyway. I don't know. Like I engage with that stuff a little bit when I'm playing by myself. But I much prefer the whole trying to fill out the community center like sub game. That part is really cool to me.
Yeah, same.
There's something to like, oh, I know I can only catch this type of catfish in the winter. So that's I've got to put that in the back of my head and remember to do that this year or else.
Yeah, it's got to be raining. It's got to be after 8 p.m.
Yep. Yep. He only shows up in the woods area, so we got to go there. There's that kind of like Pokemon-esque part of collecting different things that I kind of dig about the game, but yeah, I enjoyed the time we spent with it. I didn't get to do it for very long. I had something else come up, and I was like, oh, okay, well, gotta go, guys. See ya. And that was that. But yeah, I would definitely be into doing it again for sure. Good time. And of course, it wouldn't be a week that I'm alive in 2018 without playing some of that there Sea of Thieves. It's the Sea of Thieves times, pretty much all the times.
I mean, you play it so often that I feel like it's gonna get its own bumper.
It really should. I get like
get like Be Calmed.
Get some sea shanties.
Get some sea shanties.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. I'm trying to find the gameplay that I have of it.
What did we do this week, Tyler? What kind of bullshit did we get up to?
So much bullshit, Green.
Oh, wait, no. You're gonna lose that fucking key.
That was really kind of the highlight for me of the week. Kring and I were doing some duo slooping, and we came upon a skull fort that Kring didn't want to do. As always, and I convinced him to do it.
Because every goddamn time I'm like, Tyler, I gotta go to bed. It's like 11:45. I gotta get up at 4:30. It's time for bed. And he's like, Kring, a skull fort just popped. And I'm like, every day I would say at the beginning of the day, I'm not doing a skull fort if it pops right at the end. I'm not doing it. And I end up doing it every damn time.
Right. Because we got all the supplies, Kring. We got all the supplies in the boat. Why do we do that if we're not going to do the skull fort when it comes up? I mean, come on, man. Like,
it's like when we played Heroes and everyone's like, we should go to bed, and then one person readies and we're like, fuck, fine, one more.
What's one more, right?
It's 2:30, but sure, I'll play another game.
Yep. That's pretty much how it goes every time.
Then we end up staying up till 1:30, and I go to work on 3 hours of sleep, just absolutely miserable.
Yeah, that does
video games.
Just tend to happen. But yeah, so we get to this skull fort, and Kring and I see there's two boats, a sloop and a galleon, already fighting near it.
No, there were 3 boats.
You're right. There were
2 sloops, or 2 galleons and 1 sloop.
Right. So there's 2 galleons, 1 sloop. We make our approach. We kind of wait for them to all start fighting. And then we make our approach. We get in between them. Kring gets on one side of the boat and grabs a cannon and starts firing at this galleon. I get on the other side and start firing at this sloop. And we manage to sink both of those boats and then swing back around. And so I shot myself out of a cannon onto the island. Their people finished the skull fort. So what happens is you kill all the skeletons, kill the captain. It drops this key that opens the vault that has all the loot in it.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy's running around with this key on the island. I find him. I start shooting him. I'm chasing him down. Almost killed him. He manages to get into the water and start swimming towards the rest of his team. They come out, kill one of their dudes. He's forced to drop the key, and then he kills me. So it was like, I almost had him. And when you die, you go onto the Ferry of the Damned. And that's where you can talk to other players. You can see them all waiting to respawn too. And I just looked at that guy and I was like, man, you are gonna lose that fucking key. And we chased that guy down. Like, Kring managed to keep the boat afloat. He was chasing these guys. We chased them like several kilometers, I guess in game would be the equivalent, several squares away.
Nautical miles.
Nautical miles. Thank you, Kring. Yes, let's stay on
brand here.
On brand, yeah. So we chased him to a place called Kraken's Fall and managed, like, long story short, is we managed to sink their galleon there. And in the chaos, like, we're trying to look through the water to find them. And our best guess is that they swam to this island and managed to swim the key there. So we kind of wait around, and eventually what happens is the ship will respawn, and the people that are left will sail it back and try to find what they're looking for. So this galleon shows back over the island, and they come up, they park, and they all get out, and they're looking around. They're like searching the island. I'm like, okay, they must have hid the key, on the island. But then I managed to sneak onto their boat and hide on the back. If you do the sleep emote, it makes you lay down, so you're really hard to see, and it hides your gamer tag, so they can't just pick you out and see that you're sitting on the back of the boat. So I'm watching for like 10 minutes, and they're just swimming around in the same spot, killing sharks over and over and over again. And I finally put it together. I'm like, they dropped the key in the water. Now they can't find it. Or a shark. What I'm guessing is a shark killed them while they were swimming to the shore, and they don't know where it is. And once we put that together, we're like, well, it's gone. Like, if they haven't found it by now, it's gone, and they don't know we're here. Yeah. And so Kring's like, screw it. He went and grabbed a an exploding barrel, and we sank him again. And it was just like, just being able to tell him, like, I told you, you were not gonna get that key. You're not keeping that key. Even though we didn't get the loot for it, it was like so satisfying just to be like, nope, we caused this to happen. Like, we stopped this from happening.
We showed up to a skull fort with 3 boats already fighting for this loot, and we went away with none of those boats getting the loot, and that's satisfying to me.
Yeah, it was a pretty triumphant moment. But yeah, it's stuff like that. It's like that's totally different from any of the other experiences that I've had so far. Like, the outcome was still pretty satisfying, even though I didn't get any of the loot, the stuff that you're supposed to care about the most, you know. Mm-hmm. So it was just, we had this cool story now, and that's what I'm really collecting when I play this game. It's like I'm collecting these different, you know, war stories, basically. Big fish tales and stuff. Very cool. Was that the highlight for you this week too, Kareem?
The highlight for me is that Hungering Deep trailer. No, it's not. I'm kidding. It's a cool trailer, but it just tells us jack shit. So
yeah, they did. So the first big update, I don't think they're really calling it DLC, but they've got these scheduled updates that are going to be free and add content to the game. First one is going to be the Hungering Deep, and it's going to drop May 29th. So we did get a release date for that yesterday or the day before. Best guess is that it's a well, they've said it's a new AI threat, and from everything that we've seen so far, it looks like it's going to be a big ass shark, like a megalodon. There's a bunch of speculation. Like, they show this video of 2 different boats playing musical instruments and like summoning this thing, and then they say that there's a sacrifice that has to be made to appease it. So it sounds like you're going to be able to summon this giant shark, and then if you have a sacrifice to give it, then it'll leave you alone, but it might not leave other boats alone. So it seems like this kind of cool thing where maybe there's something that triggers you to let you know that it's near, and then if you summon it, you can maybe use it to mess with other crews and stuff like that. It seems like it might be kind of neat.
Did they get their shit sorted out with the like party system and all that?
Mostly.
Yeah.
So that was kind of weird.
Stuff's all fixed now.
A patch dropped on Tuesday that was supposed to add the closed cruise feature, which has been a much requested thing. So
pretty much broke everything.
Well, yeah, there was another feature that they added where you could hand items to other players. So, like, if I had 5 bananas in my inventory and you ran out because you were fighting skeletons, I could run up to you and hand you one, and then you could, grab it and use it. That was causing some major issues. They found, like, if you were in the water and tried to do that, it could crash the server. So, preemptively, they took that out of the game. That didn't even go into the patch. But then people started having all these crazy, like, they were getting this almond beard error, which was basically kicking everybody off the server. And they couldn't figure out why, so they wound up rolling back a couple of the features. I
thought they pretty much rolled everything back. I thought they just rolled back to 1.06.
No, so that's the kind of cool thing with their patch system and their update system, is they don't have to actually revert the patch. They can toggle off features that they've added in individually. So they started doing that. They first took out the first 2. They took the hiding player gamer tags when underwater, and then also the closed party system. And then there was, I think, 1/3 thing that maybe that was all 3, including the handing player
Brian.
stuff.
Yes, Brian.
Is the hiding gamer tags underwater, so it's harder to see people that are swimming to your boat?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, right now it's pretty easy to tell. Like, there's 2 tells. You'll see a like, if somebody, say you're following someone and they jump off their boat and they're gonna try to board you, if they get too far away, their mermaid will spawn, and you'll see that come up out of the water. The other thing is, you could look down, and if you were looking just in their general direction, big white gamer tag would show up above their heads. So now if you're underwater, that doesn't show up for anybody else. So it makes it easier to sneak onto boats. It makes it easier to escape if you're, running from somebody. If you jump in the water, you might be able to lose them easier. that kind of thing. So yeah, that's all back now. The only thing that's not in still is the being able to hand players items. It looks like that's going to take another pass.
Well, seems like the closed party thing was that was the big deal, at least from my perspective.
Right. Yeah. The closed party thing was a real big deal for people.
Yeah.
The problem that was becoming ever prevalent was if you were using the matchmaking system, you would get stuck with people who were leeching, just AFKing. You know, they'd put a rubber band around their controller and then go eat a sandwich or go to work or whatever. And, you know, people would just keep getting match made into their games and they wouldn't get kicked by the AFK system. So that was pretty
seems
bad.
especially ridiculous in this game.
Right, yeah. You're just
like more than usual, which is quite a lot.
Like you're grinding to like, especially since you grind through these levels to get to Pirate Legend so that you can grind for more shit. Like the entire game is a grind. If that's what you're doing is just focusing on getting gold and getting RP, then all the game is just a grind. We focus on just being pirates, so
I can't imagine the game being I can't imagine the game being appealing any other way than the way you guys play it. Like all that cosmetic shit, I can't imagine that being the draw for anybody.
Well, you haven't seen our pirates. I mean, like they're dressed quite well.
I love the cosmetic stuff, but it's all, I mean,
right, but
you're right, it's not the draw. The draw is
that's icing on the cake for me.
Yeah, the draw is showing up, ramming our boat straight down your boat's throat, and then sinking you immediately.
Yeah, pretty much that.
And we're getting scary good at this, like scarily efficient at
I get the impression
boats.
Yep.
Like we will show up on a boat, and if it's all four of us, it will be sunk within 30 seconds.
Got to see how that goes down. He played with us a couple times now.
You did. Yeah.
He was part of the two boat takedown near Lone Cove.
Yeah. I fired many cannonballs into the enemy.
Yeah. It was a good time.
And I bailed water.
Yes, you did.
I was just like, I've never seen the water that high before.
That seems like that's probably, we're probably in some danger. I was like, oh yeah, we were like 3 seconds from being at the bottom of the ocean there. He's like, cool, noted. But yeah, yep, it's a good time. Yeah, then the Hungering Deep, I'm excited for that. That should be cool. They've said before that they're not super interested in giving people all of the details ahead of time. They want there to be some surprise, and I'm okay with that. I've kind of seen where the argument goes against this game, and it's like I'm with people who are like, oh yeah, there's no content. Like, okay, well if what you've played makes you feel like there's no content, then absolutely this game is,
right.
Not, it's never going to fill what you're looking for.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you're like us and you're having fun with what's here, they're just going to keep adding more
of what you already like,
and it's going to be just adding more variety, adding more customization, adding more things to do in between those boat to boat interactions. That's what I'm showing up for.
I feel like people don't understand that they're not going to be adding some sort of a single player story campaign type.
They're not going to change what the game is.
Yeah, that's not this game. It will never be this game. That's never going to be something you're going to have. You're going to have more, you might have more environmental things, but it's still going to be like an AI threat or something. It's not going to be.
That's why I think like the times when Brian, you've said like that's a valid criticism of the game, and I agree. Like if that's what you showed up looking for, then that's, I'm with you. Like, right. I agree. That's not what this game is, and if you were expecting that, then your disappointment is valid for sure.
I would love this to be, like American Truck Simulator, but on the water. But I also like it isn't that. I don't blame Rare for it not being that. Like,
and
like, why aren't they fixing it? Like, it's not broken. It's just not for me.
Well, and
exactly.
I hope maybe that eventually it could get that way. Like it could get to the point where they do have different forked versions that, like, hey, maybe we do let people just run a private server. If they want to just hang out and sail and not be part of the progression system or whatever, not have it be permanent and just do that for a while, cool. Like, no skin off our bones. I don't know.
Or they could even instead of doing something like that, they could even add in they could add in a campaign mode, have it be something completely separate from the online component. Just the online component's always this PvP arena, basically.
The thing that did make me kind of want a little bit more of that, at least just a little bit, was the trailer was kind of cool. They actually had a really
That
well
dude
voiced.
was real salty.
He's like, yeah, he's a cool character, and you don't find any of those in the game. Like, there isn't any cool NPCs. They're all just like, kill people that sell you stuff. They don't really have a lot of character and stuff. And that guy was like, he seemed like this really neat dude. I would love to go to an island and find some, scurvy old pirate that wants to tell me shark stories and stuff. Like, that would be very cool.
Give me a guy with 2 peg legs, a hook, and an eye patch. Like, give me that.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, why the fuck can't we have 2 peg legs?
That'd be overpowered, Crane.
That's the real question here, Tyler. Rare gets to have a dude with 2 peg legs. I want to have 2 peg legs.
Hey, maybe that's coming in the Hungry and Deep. Maybe that's part of the. There's the real
double peg legs confirmed.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Oh,
Spring. How about you, man?
Tyler.
What you been playing?
I played that God of War though.
Yeah, is it any good though?
Tyler.
Just kidding. I know how good.
I wanted this, Tyler. For your sake, I wanted this game to be bad. I really did.
I know.
It's so good though.
You finished it.
So good. I did. I finished it. Saw some credits roll. The way I'm trying not to give anything away.
Yeah, please don't.
But you're on your quest, you're on your journey, right? And it ends, and then you start, and now it's like now what do we do? Home. So you start your journey home, and that, like, the credits play while you're journeying home. So I thought that was kind of a neat little thing. Like, you're going back home after completing your thing, and here's the credits rolling on the side of the screen there while you're
really keeping that, one camera shot thing, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
That's
yep.
cool.
Which that one camera shot thing it's unbelievable. And the way that they do it, like, I started to realize something. You go into, because you get to go to all these different realms. So you go into this, like, map room, and I'm figuring out now why, like, when you select an area, there's this whole big process where, like, the room spins around, these roots move, and then more roots move from this tree, and they lift up this stone, and a beam of light hits the stone, and then it all sets back down, and it takes like a good
Yggdrasil
loading screen.
Yes, Yggdrasil, thank you. It takes like a good minute and a half, and that's your loading screen.
Right.
It was like in,
like, they're hiding it.
Mass Effect, be like, this elevator ride, ride's pretty long.
Yeah,
but
we're loading the next floor.
It's at least something different than, like, a blatant loading screen. It took me a while to figure that out, though.
Better than a screenshot with a little blurb at the bottom that says, like, hey, try spinning. That's a neat trick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's at least, like, once you get into the game, unless you die, there's nowhere else that you will see any sort of a loading screen. Like, you don't load anywhere to get into any buildings or anything like that. So it's real seamless. But it, again, without giving anything away, it feels like they set this up for not only a sequel but a third. It feels like there's going to be 3 games here along this cranky dad Kratos storyline. So I'll be excited to see what more they get out of this story, because it's really good. It's better. It's a better story than the original trilogy was.
It doesn't seem like it would be hard to do.
No,
No
Original
offense.
trilogy's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty one note.
it is.
Kratos angry. Kratos kill gods.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, it's good. I'm getting into some of the beautiful part about this too is it's not like a lot of times these games where you can like continue to play after you've completed the story work like Breath of the Wild where like you
Hated
finish the
that.
story, and now the game's done and roll credits and you go back into your game and it just starts you right at the last load before like Ganon. You're ready to take on Ganon again. And so you never get to see the world after you've completed
Right.
your mission.
That always bums me out because I want to see them put that little bit of extra effort into like, well, how does the world treat the hero once the deed is done?
Right.
How does the
you
world
get no payoff? Like that's your
react?
payoff.
Yeah. Like I want to go through and see the world mended, you know, like that's in most of these types of games.
Right. You want to
Right.
go back to the Shire.
Exactly. I want to go back to the Shire. I want to go into the West.
Tyler
The elves
always
is-
wants to go to the Shire.
That's true.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you? You could.
No. Why would Brian? Both of us are like Gandalf's height. Gonna be running into
that's
chandeliers and
true.
shit.
Yeah. I mean,
I watched Lord of the Rings today. First movie, Fellowship, for the first time in years.
yeah.
Brian wasn't every bit as good as you remember.
Yes. Like the CGI doesn't always hold up real well these days.
You know
As to
what?
be expected, but
You know
don't
what
give a
though?
shit. Don't care.
That movie is 17 years old. And that
Fuck you,
CGI
Pring.
that CGI still looks better than a lot of movies that come out now.
It looks all
Like,
right.
They also
Like,
put a
I
lot
just-
of work into
I-
practical
I
effects in that movie.
just saw Infinity War like 2 weeks ago, and there is some like real jarringly bad CG in that movie. Particularly centered around Bruce Banner at some points. Like it's jarring how bad it is. And then to go back and look at a movie like Lord of the Rings that's that old, it just still looks better than some
Yeah.
modern day movies.
They
My
did a-
kids half watched it, which they've never seen it because I don't know. I'm old, so fucking kids these days, anything longer than a YouTube video, and they can't. They can't attention. Goddamn kids. But,
yeah.
Did you just
Yeah, they
fast
kind of
forward to all the
half-watched it.
fighties?
huh?
Did you just fast forward to all this fighting stuff? Did you fast forward? I guess I'm
No,
asking. Did you
no, I
fast
was
forward
watching it.
through
Fuck
all of Tyler's favorite parts.
No.
My favorite parts are like when Frodo comes running up to Gandalf on his cart and
Exactly, that's what I mean. Like the
Yeah.
things that a 9-year-old child would find boring
or like
are
when
Tyler's favorite parts.
when Gandalf is
Mhm.
talking to Bilbo and has to get all stern with him and fill up the room with darkness.
Right.
So
Not
good.
trying to rob you.
Damn it. I love those movies so much.
It's got some real good moments.
Yup. Yup. Just,
Yeah.
just watch those and never watch the Hobbit
You could-
movies, and it'll be fine.
Also, only ever watch the extended editions. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Yeah, I did the edited ones, but
Did you
Again.
feel sad?
a little bit. But asking my
Mhm.
kids to give a shit about them, 3 hours is a real long movie. The
Yeah.
extended editions are 4 hours. I wasn't gonna.
I'm
I
gonna
think
press
the
your luck.
extended- I think the extended edition of Return of the King is like 4.5 hours.
Probably.
It's insane.
Checks out.
Yeah, they're just like it's neat, seeing my kids watch it or at least half watch it when they don't know the story because Gandalf falls, and-
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, right. And like my boy's like, Dad, is he dead? I'm just like, you gotta watch the movie, son.
Well, son, he's a wizard.
You got to watch the movie, and actually, you got to watch
And
the
the
next
next two.
one. Sorry.
Yeah, and the next one, yeah. So good. Well,
We can move on, but before we do, the Fellowship theme music is fucking wonderful.
it really is, you guys. It really, really is.
Brian, Tyler, real talk,
Yes.
real for a second
Real
here.
talk me. Give me
What the fuck are we doing with our lives that we're not just watching that movie again right
Hmm.
now? Like, Tyler,
Uh,
pop some popcorn. I'm coming over.
Okay. All
Like,
right. See
right
you later.
now.
All right. Bye. Call. Yeah, I'm with you. They're the best movies. And this is a segue.
Speaking of things that are the
Speaking of
best,
Gandalf,
I played another game, and it is the best version of Angry Birds I've ever played.
Okay.
There you go. You're welcome for that segue.
Thank you.
So
What's it
I got that PlayStation Plus.
Uh-huh.
Get the free games,
Great.
and I look at what's there, and I see what I know you saw, Brian. What's the one that the Heavy Rain people did? Beyond Two Souls or something like that?
Yep, Beyond Two Souls.
Beyond Two Souls. And I was like, ooh, I want to try this out. I also want to try out Heavy Rain, but that's beside the point. And then I saw this King Oddball. And I'm like, oh, this looks like a phone game.
Mhm.
And it is, but it's also free on PlayStation right now if you have PlayStation Plus. It's really just a different take on Angry Birds. And I wasn't going to download it at all. My wife's like, just get it. It's free. All right, fine. I ended up beating the game today in one sitting.
Huh.
Like I just kept playing through it. You're this ball guy who's like a rock.
Fucking weird to look at. Okay.
Yeah, and you dangle these rocks at the end of your tongue and then swing them like a pendulum, and then you've got to just time when to let go, and that determines the trajectory of your rock, and you got to blow up these tanks and kill people and down helicopters and destroy the world.
Yeah.
It's a slightly different version of Angry Birds without the stupid fucking birds and pigs.
Angry Birds physics, kind of, where you knock down a wall and then everything above it crumbles.
Pretty much. So
Angry Birds was a real good game. I'm gonna say it.
It
was a fun game. They went way too far with it. It got out of hand, but just regular ass Angry Birds was real addictive, real good.
Yep, it was good. And then I didn't really care for the whole pigs versus birds thing. I didn't really.
No, the first I don't
really
know,
care for
3
that,
or 4 Angry Birds games were pretty good. Then they started getting the licensed stuff and all the spin-offs.
Star Wars, Angry Birds,
Transformers.
Yeah, there's a couple other modes that you can play. There was a cool one where like they'll redo some of these puzzles, and they'll have like one rock mode where you just get one rock. Like normally you get 3, and this game actually does have a kind of cool mechanic to allow you to get more rocks. Like if you kill 3 enemies with 1 rock, you'll get a new rock. If you hit your dude King Oddball with a rock, like say it bounces off of something and hits him, you'll get a free rock. So like you can use that mechanic to your advantage to like extend a level so you get more shots. But anyway, there's another mode where they'll just do 1 rock, and so they'll have this level set up, and you've got to try to just throw that 1 rock and kill all the dudes. It's just 1 rock. But no, I mean it's on. I looked. It's on iOS. It's on the Google Play Store. So like,
not surprised.
On your phone. I'm assuming all you would do is just tap the screen to let the rock go, and there you be.
See, I saw it on the free games with PlayStation Plus, and I had the same response as you. I'm just like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna bother, clicking the add to library button. I'm just gonna let that be.
Which, I mean, give it a whirl. It was real weird playing this because it again feels like it's a phone game, like it's a mobile game. It feels like that. But then I realized, like, oh, this is me playing a mobile game, but I don't have to deal with the bullshit ads like popping up and having to like close them and stuff. It's just, no, here's the game. You beat the level, go to the next level. Don't have to unlock any gems or any stupid shit like that. Like, it's just, here's the game. play it. And so, like I said, I was able to. I probably played it for like 3 hours and got through. I think there's like 100 and some, like 100 and I want to say there's 108 puzzles.
I
Yeah.
like games like
Got through all of
this.
it.
I like a lot of mobile games where it's just something. It's like a physics-based thing that I can just do for a couple minutes, like when I'm
Right.
waiting around for something to download at work or whatever. But there's a growing trend of like they'll get you to download these games that look like they're pretty simple and pretty fun. But like every third turn, it wants to shoot an ad at you.
Right.
It's like, so like this would be like every time you throw 3 rocks, an ad comes up. And
if I can pay like $2 to make the ads go away forever,
cool. But but see what a lot of them are doing is like, okay, so it makes those ads go away, but then they still do where like you get a reward and you can take like 200 coins, or if you watch an ad, you can get like 1,000. And so it's like, okay, so you didn't really get rid of all the ads, did you? For my $3, like they still managed to leave ways to throw those in there, and it just feels gross. I don't like that trend. I'm with you. Just let me pay $5 and get the full game, and don't fuck with me.
Right? Just
but you paying $5 is not as lucrative as the dude who's going to sink $1,000 into their stupid gem marketplace.
Well, even if it's not that, it just seems like now they're full in on just like, please watch ads through this thing. Use that as your currency.
I'm noticing it's not even games. It's like YouTube is full in on jam as many ads as you can in your face anymore. What was it we were talking about the other day? Black Sails. No, watching Black Sails on Hulu. Hulu fucking pisses me off with this because Black Sails airs on Starz. Starz does not have commercials. Hulu adds commercials in. So they add these cuts into the episode for the commercials. When you pay for the non-commercial experience on Hulu, those cuts are still there. They just don't show ads for them. So the screen goes to black, like it's going to go to a commercial break, and it's probably a full 2 seconds or so before it comes back, and then you go back into the episode. And I was watching because I was having a hard time like understanding some of the things that we're saying, and my dog was in the room, and I was just trying to like not have to totally
have
listen.
The dog explain it, yeah.
Totally listen. Yeah, have the dog explain it. So I had subtitles on, and then all of a sudden it says like birds chirping on the subtitle. And I'm like, there's no fucking birds, as the screen fades to black, and then it pops back up, and now there's birds because the scene had changed. Or they'll use like music to transition, but this cut will happen in between of these two songs transitioning into one another, and it ruins that whole effect, and I hate it.
Yeah, I'm getting there with Facebook is doing that too, where like you'll be in the middle of a video and it's like, oh, an ad's coming in 5 seconds. I'm just like, okay, I guess I'm done watching this in 5 seconds then, because
I get rationally mad at things too. Like, I hate Netflix. I just hate Netflix now in general.
Really?
Because like every time you even hover over anything, it starts playing.
Oh yeah.
Fucking hate that.
The autoplay.
A lot of times
is
I'm
real
just
bad.
like, okay, no, I'm done. I'll just watch something on Hulu instead. Fuck you. Like I just want to browse.
We're so old.
Browse without video.
I'm with you, but yeah.
They can get the internet on my phone. Why can't they do that?
Yeah.
And is it with Facebook though? Isn't that video that you're watching already an ad? Somebody paid Facebook to boost it?
Yeah, usually, yeah. I like get trapped into watching some stupid, tasty video of some guy making avocado egg toast or whatever, and it's already some sponsored thing, and then all of a sudden it wants to throw an ad in the middle of it, and I'm like, no, you've made me very aware of what a waste of time this is. I could be doing literally anything else. So I guess, maybe it is a good thing. If it's a good thing. Oh, man. Anyway, we're all old. Welcome to Questlog Oldcast. let's get into the news, shall we?
Show about video games old.
Hey, it's the news, and here it comes. Here comes an ad. It's brought to you by an ad. Here it is. Do you suffer from post-traumatic butt disorder? Okay, I'm sorry.
And do a Blue Apron.
Yeah, Blue Apron.
Here.
Get Blue Apron. Sponsors Blue.
Or
Apron.
we can do an Audible ad.
Yeah. Do you like books? I do. I like them when they're in my ears instead of my eyes. Go to audible.com/questlog to get your free audiobooks. There you go. See? Are you listening, Audible?
They are.
Somebody at Audible real quick for us and let them know that we're ready.
That was actually a better read than I think about.
Yeah. Good stuff, man.
Oh,
Well,
man.
hey, what's going on with the news this week, guys? There's a thing. I can't find my thing. Where is it? Help me out. There it
The
is.
Xbox controller.
Hey. Okay, yeah, we're gonna start.
The
We're gonna start
Xbox
high.
controller, Tyler.
We're gonna start high. This just came out. Microsoft revealed that they are releasing something called an adaptive controller. It looks to be geared towards people with disabilities, and it's awesome. Like, one, it's just a really cool looking piece of hardware. It's got these two giant pads that everything's customizable, and then along the top they've got 3.5 millimeter jacks for every input on an Xbox controller.
Yep.
Yeah, tons of ports and stuff. So the idea is like you can get this controller. I think it's like $100, $200.
Yep,
$100.
and I think it's 100.
Yeah.
And I made the mistake of looking at comments, which
Oh
again,
no.
I know.
Oh
but
God,
people were like,
Brian.
Oh no.
those assholes are making it so expensive, and it's just like, you have no idea how much a special controller costs.
Right.
For someone with a disability, $100 is a real good price.
There's also a reason that nobody ever before, and that's because you can't make money on it. It's real hard to make money on it.
Right.
Yeah, like it's not going to be a mass market success.
Right. It's not going to go flying off store shelves. You're not going to sell hundreds of millions of these. You're just going to sell, a few thousand of them.
The cool thing too is so like all those ports are designed so that you can hook up pretty much whatever, some kind of switch, and it'll act like that button. So, it might be that
the ports are labeled like R1, L1.
Right. And so they show video of people, like some people who are, quadriplegic and stuff, but they're able to like blow into a microphone and have that register as an input. Or like there was one where a guy was using like the side of his head to hit a button that they had hooked into this thing, and it's like, wow, they can they can make this as customized as possible, and make this stuff playable for a whole other sub segment of the population. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, we shit on Microsoft enough, and we got to give them their kudos when they get it right.
The other part of
real
this
good.
is they are being really cool about the technology and saying like, if this is not like our thing, if other people want to make stuff for it, like just get in contact with us and like we'll make that happen. So it just seems like an honestly good thing that they're doing, and I hope a bunch of people hop on board with it.
And it's something you don't see as often as you would hope to see in the world anymore.
Yeah, and like you said, like it's coming from Microsoft. It's not coming from Mad Cats or what are some of the other ones, PDP, or some of these other peripheral manufacturers. So
it's coming from evil Microsoft. I'm sorry, $, because all they care about is money.
Yeah,
they don't give a shit about you as a person, Tyler.
Yeah. So I'm glad.
Yeah,
good stuff. Hey, Pring, do you know
Tyler?
Do you know that Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming? And boy,
Tyler,
is it!
Tyler, I don't know if you know this about me,
Hmm.
but I'm a giant Toy Story fan.
I did know that about you. I thought you were kind of a fan of.
Toy
I
Story
thought you were a fan of Disney stuff in general.
I am a Disney fan. Like
Yeah, I learned something
It's
about you
it's
tonight,
it's
Krill.
it's one of my faults
I also
that
learned that you don't know anything about Kingdom Hearts at all.
so here's what happened. Here's what had happened. When the original Kingdom Hearts games came out,
How old were you?
I was working at GameStop at the time
Hmm.
when Kingdom Hearts. I know when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, I was working at GameStop, and um, Kingdom Hearts was one of those things that I rolled my eyes so heavily at, and it's because even back then I didn't like Final Fantasy. I had tried to play Final Fantasy 7, didn't care for it. I tried to play Final Fantasy 10, didn't care for it. So like I knew Final Fantasy was not my thing,
Mhm.
and here comes this game where they mix Disney characters with Final Fantasy looking dudes, and I just went, no, I don't give a shit. I'm passing on this. This is not going to be for me. But now I found out that like I may have missed the boat because it's not like a JRPG. It's like
Right,
a
it's not
it's an
turn-based combat.
yeah, and that's the thing that just kills me, drags me down is that style of turn-based combat, and also the characters looking the way they do in those games is
Hey,
just a real turn off for me.
good news. That isn't what Kingdom Hearts is at all.
Yeah, and since I now know that that's not what Kingdom Hearts is, I know that I've made an egregious mistake, and I see that this has Toy Story and it has Wreck-It Ralph.
Mhm.
So all aboard, choo choo. Let's get that hype train going.
I mean, that's kind of what the other ones have always been too. Like very rarely do you go into Kingdom Heart or into Final Fantasy themed worlds. It's usually more like
The
these
Disney
kind of
IPs.
generic. Yeah, there's a few kind of like exclusive to Kingdom Hearts zones, but it's the different worlds you're traveling to are Disney themed worlds for the most part, and they just have randomly Final Fantasy characters like woven into them. It's like this universe where things are colliding and mixing up.
And believe me, if I ever end up in a Final Fantasy looking world, I am going to get all sorts of guides to figure out how to get out of that world as fast as possible and get
Okay.
back into the Disney stuff, because the Disney stuff's the real draw for me.
And that stuff's done really well. Like I
Yeah.
played the first two games, I really liked them. Um, like you're going in and you're fighting these things alongside Jack Skellington in the Nightmare Before Christmas world, and going down under the water and hanging out with Ariel, and like those people
Yeah.
join your party and become like
Mhm.
another character in your party. That all happens, like the AI controls all of them too, so you don't have to worry about managing them. It's not a turn-based thing. You can queue up abilities and stuff like that for them, and they'll execute those. They'll cast those spells and stuff, but like it's pretty good. Like Donald's my healer. He's like a little wizard dude. Goofy's kind of the tank. He's got a shield and can run in and stun people and stuff. Like it's it's real silly, but they're entertaining games.
It sounds now like I should go back in time and slap 18-year-old me square in the face and call me an idiot and tell me to pick up Kingdom Hearts, because I probably would have liked it. But now I hear to revisit it at this point is probably not
I don't
real
think they
great.
hold up super great. It'd be
Yeah.
easy for you as a PlayStation 4 owner because they've got like a big all-in-one compilation
Uh-huh.
of Kingdom Hearts games for the PS4 if you wanted to see. But
Did they remaster them? Or is it just like, here's
uh,
these clunky ass PS2 graphics?
I think they're remasters.
They might be
I think it's
up-resed a
more
bit,
touched
but
up than it's
yeah,
not.
they didn't touch the actual gameplay though, and that
Gotcha.
is where it could have used it.
Okay.
It's not super great, but one of the hardest
Advances have happened in the last 20 years.
one of the hardest boss battles I've ever had was in Kingdom Hearts 2, I think. 2 or 1, I can't remember. But you fight you get to fight Sephiroth from Final Fantasy 7 in like an arena type thing, and it's so fucking hard. I
Tyler.
remember being so
Tyler.
stoked. What?
Tyler. Stop.
Yes.
Just talk to me about when you fought Ursula and we're cool.
No,
I don't want to hear
it's
about Sephiroth.
I know you don't, because you're a bad person.
I'm wrong. Because I'm wrong. It's fine. I know that I'm wrong. I know this is the fault of mine, Tyler. I know.
It happened, if it makes you feel better, it happened in Olympus in the Hercules land, so that's where I fought him.
Okay, now I could get on board with that. Just, did Hercules like do that thing where he like grabs Sephiroth and like just throws him like he did that like that giant centaur guy?
This is working so well. No, that didn't happen. Nope.
Well, then I don't
That
give
didn't
a shit,
happen at
Tyler.
all. I know. Okay, thanks, King. Next news story. Let's see. What do we got here? Hey, adult visual novels are going to be removed or censored from Steam. So
I'm going to defer to you two as the parents to tell me how you feel about this.
Well, Brian is the resident expert on adult visual novels,
yes, I am.
apparently.
It's true. I think I played one more of them than you guys have.
Which is, yeah.
Which makes me the expert.
Yep.
Yeah, like, it seems to be that Steam isn't being very consistent with this stuff, is what I'm reading, as far as what they ban and what they let go. Because,
right.
you know, like a lot of these games have, you know, like there's softcore porn in them, but it's not, you know, something that you could view in another tab, for example.
Right.
This kind of comes back to our American culture of like, hey, we can show all the gore and all the murder and graphic killing we want, but you know, if you show me a nipple, I'm gonna get uncomfortable about it.
Some of it is more than a nipple. Like, I was hearing about some of these, and they were saying like all it takes to take them from that to a full-on like sex sim type thing is you go to the developer's website, download a patch, apply it, and now that is what the game is.
That's
so
true. That's kind of a gray area as far as where does Steam's responsibility lie with, you know, like what you do with your install.
Right.
So I've often wondered why, as a culture, we got to the point where something that quite literally everybody does many times in their lives is considered taboo. But the thing that nobody ever does, like ripping somebody's head off and having their spine attached to it, that's cool. I don't know. But I don't have kids, so I don't know what to shelter them from because I'm a terrible person.
The short answer is just know your kids. Like, and I know what my daughter can and can't handle, and what, you know, I want her to be exposed to. And the short answer is just know what your kids are playing and know what they're doing. Like, I don't think everybody should all of these things should be banned from Steam. If there's a market for them, I feel like,
right,
what the hell? Like, why not let people do what they want with their computers? But,
you know, I don't give a shit about this, but I'm okay with it being there for people who do.
I guess I don't know if what they're really trying to get at is they just don't want this to be, they don't want Steam to become like, this
like
is where you come to get
this.
your, you know, get your rocks off on these.
They don't want Steam to turn into Twitch.
Is that what happens on Twitch?
Isn't that like there's all those girls that are basically glorified cam girls that are on Twitch? Or am I wrong? I don't know. I don't pay attention to much of that portion of Twitch.
I don't think the actual nudity happens, but yeah, there's been some rumblings about that. The IRL channels where, you know,
I just get on and watch people play video games,
subs and tips, and then the angry nerds are complaining about, you know, the pretty girls invading our space, capital O.
Mm-hmm.
That's a can of worms.
Yeah, it is. So I guess we'll see what happens with that. Hey, No Man's Sky, the biggest disappointment of 16, 17?
16.
Yes.
Hey, they're finally gonna have real full-on multiplayer, which seems pretty cool to me.
Great.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of stoked about this. Like, it's weird. Luke posted a thing and showed me this link, and that, like, maybe an hour beforehand, I had just started watching like random videos on No Man's Sky because I was like, man, I keep hearing that they like they really turned that game around, and that it's actually pretty good now. There's a lot of stuff to do, and I was like, man, just I don't know. It seems like it would be really cool if there was a way to play with other people, and then bam, there it is. And I was reading through some of the features, and it seems pretty cool. Kring, hop in a ship, get some buds, fly around, make a base, fight other ships in space. In space, Kring. Nothing?
That game is full of animals that look like somebody just mashed their keyboard while playing Spore, and that's what
Okay.
the fucking game spit out.
Okay.
Tyler, no,
Hey,
don't.
What I
Don't.
missed?
Hashtag more content than Sea of Thieves. Oh shit.
Is there more content than Sea of Thieves?
There's animals. There's animals that aren't pigs and chickens and snakes.
I wouldn't call those animals, Tyler. They're abominations.
I don't care. I want to see weird dinosaurs. You like dinosaurs? There's a shit ton of dinosaurs in there.
There
We
are
could
no
be-
dinosaurs. There are no dinosaurs in No Man's Sky. Only nightmares.
We could be space pirates.
We already are.
We could be airship pirates.
No,
All
we're
right.
already pirates.
Brian.
Normally I would say yes. This is right up my alley. But this is something people were clamoring for 2 years
See,
ago.
What does it matter?
This is why I said maybe we should just strike this from the news because it's going to set him off on a thing.
I know, but
Have you
everything
forgotten
sets him
so
off on a
soon?
thing. This is
Well,
what
yes,
happens. This is what we
especially.
do. It turns like
Yes.
Kring turns into a pumpkin usually right around between 1 and 2 a.m. We're getting real close. So
That's true.
he's itching for an argument to keep himself awake.
Every time No
And we-
Man's Sky has come up, or every time he has brought it up, it's led to this, though. It's in control, Tyler.
I'm just saying, like I'm actually interested in this. I know Luke enjoyed his time
Tyler,
with it.
Tyler, you're breaking my heart. You're going down a path I can't follow.
Fuck Sea of Thieves. I want to go into space. Just kidding. Sorry. I'm sorry, Rare. If you're listening, I don't really want to fuck Sea of Thieves. I mean,
you do.
I kinda
well,
do.
but I'm interested in this. Being able to blow up other people's ships in outer space seems like it might be fun.
God, you're an animal. You're just an animal.
Yes, I am. Okay. Sea of Thieves taught me something about myself, Brian, and it's that I'm out for fucking blood. I want to watch people suffer. I'm an asshole.
Tyler wants to shoot them with his blunderbuss and watch them turn into a green piratey ghost.
Yep.
You want to
That's what he wants.
watch people suffer, but you turn your nose up at pixelated boobs.
Hey,
Explain yourself.
Tyler did say he wants to fuck Sea of Thieves, but just Steam took away that visual adult novel, so
Yeah.
he can't.
yeah, and I don't turn my nose up at all the pixelated boobs. Kring's character's got her boobies out like all the time on our boat, so you
Mhm.
know, pretty good.
She looks like Max from Black Sails.
That's true. It's true.
Makes Tyler happy.
This got weird. You're right, Brian. This was a bad idea. This was not smart. Hey guys, here's a dongle that'll let you hack your Switch. Let's talk about that. It's a dongle what lets you hack your Switch.
Get your dongles out.
Get your dongles out. I don't know if showing this is breaking any kind of terms of use for Twitch or whatever. I guess we'll find out.
That's fine.
Yeah,
We
but
welcome the attention.
it appears to be a thing what you stick in the bottom of your Switch that loads some kind of like, hack, some kind of jailbreak type thing. And there's like a little 3D printed thing that goes in to put your Switch into restore mode or something. It goes by the Joy-Con. And once they do that, they can load this custom firmware and whatever on the Switch, like on the fly. It's $40.
Shut up.
Yeah, and apparently they've already integrated what is it, the SNES Classic, like the entire thing they've been able to recreate inside of here. Like there's some pretty cool stuff that they're able to do. I'm not endorsing any kind of piracy here, but I am saying that Nintendo announced that they're not doing the virtual console, and then I learned about this the next week. So looks like there will be options and pretty
Why are
slick ones.
Nintendo consoles always so easy to
This one's
circumvent?
This one's actually unique. It uses an exploit in the Tegra chip that people have known about for a long time. This has been around in like oh gosh, those Steam boxes that were starting to come out a little while ago. But anything that has that Tegra chip in it has this vulnerability, and they've just found a way to basically, apply it to the Switch and make use of it. So
is it reversible?
I don't know. From what I've heard is, and my knowledge of this is like very, very basic, so forgive me, but I guess there's a version that you can do with your PC and like an Android phone, but that requires some stuff to happen each time, and then that could be reversed. I think this dongle though is not something that can. I think this like physical hardware stuff is supposed to just work all the time.
Well, it's supposed to load. It loads like a firmware, so couldn't I just revert to factory settings and undo it?
I would imagine so, yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what Nintendo has to kind of detect this kind of stuff. If you're going to wind up screwing up your
that's what I'm
online
getting at.
account and whatever, but
Yeah, if you were to use that, like turn off your Wi-Fi.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works, but keeping my eyes on it. Let's just say that. I'm keenly interested in that. So
Yeah.
coming soon. I think they're going to start shipping these out in June. So you can pre-order.
I wonder
them
if
now.
they're gonna get. I wonder if they're gonna get in the same sort of legal trouble. Like, there was that thing on the Nintendo DS called the R4. It was like a little flash card. You just put a little micro SD card with all sorts of ROMs on it, and you could play it. I'm not saying I had one. I'm not saying I didn't have one.
Right.
I also
Just
had
saying
one
it
and didn't have
existed.
one.
Yeah.
I also didn't have one.
Right.
But like that was something like completely different. Like it wasn't like a firmware. You didn't change your system's settings. You loaded on this.
The DS just loaded that
different
thing, right?
Yeah, the DS just loaded this cartridge.
I have a feeling Rob will know all about this. So, Rob, if you know all about this,
Email us.
let us
That
know.
seems likely.
Mail at questlogcast.com. And yeah, that's something I'll be watching intently. And finally, Spring, I'm glad you're here because I think you'll have thoughts on this. Treyarch announced that Call of Duty Black Ops 4 will not have it. We learned a lot
That was
about.
announced a while back.
Was it?
Maybe it was just made official, but I've been hearing that rumor for a while.
Gotcha. We learned some other stuff about Black Ops 4 this week, and it was that it's going to be exclusive on PC to Battle.net. Blizzard is going to be distributing that. Happened once before with another Activision game through Destiny 2, but it seems to be that, at least for the PC releases, this is going to be the platform for most Activision Blizzard ventures. So
I'm honestly surprised it took them this long
to cut the single player.
Yeah, I was playing all of them up through like I think Advanced Warfare. I didn't play the most recent one. I haven't played one in a couple of years now. But like from Call of Duty 4 all the way through Advanced Warfare, I was playing them. I was getting them every year and playing the crap out of these games with my friends. And I had one friend where I would be like, dude, did you finish the campaign yet? Like, it's so awesome. He would just go, this game has a campaign mode. Like, there are people out there, and I'm sure it's a large subset of the population that just never loads the campaign mode. They go straight into the multiplayer, and that's all they use this game for. So I'm shocked it took them this long to stop wasting their money on the campaign mode.
Yep, and they have stats on that. Like, that's one of the useful things for trophies and achievements is I've had achievements pop up where it's like, oh, only 10% of people got this story achievement. Huh.
Yeah, like Sea of Thieves, only like 90% of people have set sail or something like that. Like
I don't think it's even that high.
Isn't it? There's a not insignificant percentage of people who have fired up Sea of Thieves that have not ever set sail.
I honestly think that's because on day one they had so much trouble. Like, I bet there's a fair amount of people who had Game Pass, fired that up, couldn't play, and went, okay, I guess fuck this, and didn't bother ever again.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So, but yeah, there's other weird achievements that are like, how is this not 100%? There's an achievement for eating a banana. There's an achievement for getting wind in your, like, having the wind be full
Right.
sail, like really, really easy stuff that happens like the first time you play usually. And yeah, not everybody has those, so I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, that's gonna do it for the news. It's time for a topic. It's a topic. This is a topic, and this week we are talking about our favorite consoles and their boot up sounds. Basically, just injecting nostalgia straight into your veins. That's what's coming at you.
Before we get into that, Tyler, can we please get a drop like that for everything?
You want me to
Tyler
just
does?
you want me
Like,
to just fuck
beep,
Visitor,
beep,
sorry
beep,
Visitor.
It's quest log.
I'll just do it myself.
Yep.
I think one's enough, but we'll see.
It doesn't kind of lose its charm if you overdo it.
Yeah. I'll take your suggestion into consideration, but for now,
I'll take your suggestion into consideration and ignore shit out of it.
Yeah, there you go. So,
right.
Brian, what's your favorite console startup sound? Which one is it?
Boy, that's a good question.
Why is it the Dreamcast?
That one, I never had a Dreamcast, so I don't even know the Dreamcast startup sound. Probably one of the PlayStation ones, PS1 or PS2. Probably PS2.
PS2, you think?
What's happening to your face, Kring? Explain your face.
Nah, that's a gross one.
Apologize for your face.
You apologize for your opinion.
You're an animal.
I don't have an elegant way to do this, so I'm just going to click these and you guys won't hear them and they'll play. PlayStation 2, you said, Brian? Give that a rip.
Yeah, PS1 and PS2 both had real smooth startup sounds.
The PS2. Yup.
Like with the little, like after the game loads, the little PlayStation 2 logo comes up on the screen. And
everything was cubes. Everything
when
was
you
like,
weren't sure if the game was going to load or not.
Yeah.
Did you know what those actually were, Tyler?
No.
Those cubes?
No.
They were actually towers, and those towers were like there was a tower for each game that you had like a save on there for.
Oh, right, and they represented like the megabytes or whatever for the
no, I thought they
kilobytes
represented like the amount of time you had played that game.
Oh, maybe.
Like the height of the tower represented how much you'd played that game versus the other one.
That's cool.
Like I found a list of startup sounds. I don't think I've ever heard the PlayStation 4 startup sound. Maybe once, apparently, because I'm just like, what's this?
How have you not heard it?
I think because you hear it that one time when you first set it up, but you're not paying attention because you're first setting it up. Maybe
I have it automatically sign into my profile as soon as it starts.
Exactly.
Up. I think that's why.
Oh, gotcha. Huh. That's neat.
Yeah, which it's real odd when I start the PlayStation up and I'm just into my profile, but then I start my Xbox up and it like goes through their whole startup thing every time. It's.
I have a lot of nostalgic ones, but honestly, I think the Xbox 360. Does that make me a bad person?
Which version?
I'll tell you.
The original?
I think so. That's right. They did have like different. They changed that a couple times.
They changed it like 3 times.
Xbox 360, 2005 to 2007. I think this is. Yup, and it does the little thing at the end. Yeah, that's real good.
I got a lot of fond memories of the 360. Like that was a moment where it's like all of a sudden my console can be online and I can download games, and it was all new.
And they incorporated streaming into that, and all of a sudden you could use Netflix and
360 was a real good console.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And the layout with the blades. Remember the blades?
I do remember the blades. I remember making like custom, like uploading my own images and stuff somehow, and getting my own background stuff, and really spending a lot of time customizing that, making it look how I wanted. It didn't age super well if you go back and look at it now, but at the time it was functional though. Like that was the thing. It was a very functional thing. The Xbox One layout now is kind of a hot mess. I don't love that.
It very clearly shows that that system was originally designed to have a connect and allow you to use voice features to just say what you want it to do.
Yeah,
because they've never gotten it right. It's just a hot mess of garbage. It looks like a Windows phone, which is terrible.
Yeah, I'm not in love with it. What's your favorite though of all time, Kring?
Oh, it's I would say, even though I never owned one, I love the Dreamcast. It's just like it's calming and relaxing, and I really like that about it. I also like
I'm surprised, Kring.
Why?
Sega.
I actually preferred the Scream version of it. So if you ever played Sonic 3D Black, yeah, the guy goes Sega!
No,
that was
no, I never did, but I feel like
that
I
was
have
on
now.
like so they did commercials back in the day where a dude was like Sega! at the end of the commercial. And then I remember like,
at the height of that, we've got attitude.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then I got Sonic 3D Blast on the Genesis, and all of a sudden, like, I'm waiting for it to go Sega, and then it's just the Sega logo shows up. Dude goes Sega, and then it goes on the screen. I'm like that's awesome.
Oh,
so that was my favorite version of that.
Okay.
But
thank you.
Sorry.
Do it 7 more times. Don't execute.
No. So that no, but the GameCube though, guys, the GameCube, because it didn't have one startup sound, it had 3 different startup sounds.
It had Easter egg startup
GameCube
sounds. Yeah.
Yep. And I love that little cube going around, and then it just in the end it just hits in the middle, bloop, and it's just oh god, it was so good.
GameCube was a good system. Had a lot of personality.
I love that system. I wish I never got rid of mine, but I got rid of it when I got a Wii because the Wii does GameCube games. But man, I love that little.
Yeah, I fucked that up because I got rid of the Wii and then I got a new one later. I took the backwards compatibility out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little brum at the end of the GameCube startup thing. I used to say that out loud every time it would do that. Brum. That's good.
I got to the point though where like I was holding the Z button so often to get the Easter egg startup sound that then like when I would forget to do that and I would hear the original startup sound, I'd be like, oh, this now sounds like the Easter egg version because I never hear it anymore.
It was like squeaking balloons and little kids and laughing and stuff.
Yep.
It was real weird.
The I really liked the one if you held it down on all 4 of the controllers, you got like a samurai sounding sort of thing. That was really cool, but
yeah, the other thing the GameCube did was that was the first wireless controller I ever had that really worked super well. I had a Wave Bird, and that thing was fantastic.
It's sitting over there right now, and can confirm. Yeah, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, honestly, I think that is it wrong to say that wireless controller design peaked with the GameCube? Because I've always thought the GameCube controller was like the best designed controller. I really liked the whole big A button that you could
that weird little camera nub. Like
yeah, well, replace that with an actual joystick.
Slow down. Okay.
Replace that with an actual joystick.
They are offset, and you do care about that.
Yeah, I do. I do care about that offsetness.
Like, I don't think I even noticed the difference between the analog stick's position on the Sony and Microsoft controllers until you pointed it out. And like, oh yeah, I guess they are, parallel on the PlayStation controllers.
Yeah.
I just really liked, especially when I played a lot of Smash Bros. Melee on the GameCube. That big with all those other buttons around it, like you could easily button combo all sorts of stuff by just like kind of rolling your thumb around it. And it was, I don't know, I really like that design.
Do you have a hotkey for a mute button or something, Kring? Because you are cutting out just ever so slightly every once and again.
No.
Okay, just curious. Carry on. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Just pointing it out. Hey, that's pretty good. I agree with all of that. Sorry, it threw me off there a little bit. It threw me off a little bit when he got muted there. It's fine. Brian will fix it in post. It'll make this all
Yeah,
sound
it's fine.
perfect. It'll be great.
Brian's gonna fix everything in post.
Yeah,
It's
that's
all in post.
It'll end up sounding like 3 different dudes.
Yeah.
what I do.
Well, guys, I think it's gonna finish us up for this week. Thank you for being here. Shout out to Hascraft and Lucitar in the chat room. Luke was out watching Deadpool, so we'll probably get to hear about that next week. Drop us an email if you want to, and you can do that at mail@questlogcast.com. You can find the show at questlogcast.com every week. Put an episode up usually on Mondays, Sundays, Mondays, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Follow us on Twitter. It's at questlogcast. Shout out to Visager for all the music that you hear, except for that one intro that Kring likes, where I just bullshit for a second and then say it's a topic. Visitor stuff is way better than that. You should find that at visitor.bandcamp.com. And tune in next week, man. We might have a Luke Phillips back. We're gonna hear more about some bullshit and Sea of Thieves probably. So many things. So many things. And we'll catch you then. Until then, have a great week. See you later.
Take care.
Good night, everybody.
Sega! How many more times do you want to hear it, bro?
At least
How many?
Sega!
Brian, would you go listen to Dreamcast sound real quick for me? Just please YouTube that real quick. Just do it.
Okay, I can do that.